All right, I'm here with Michael Aaronson again of the Aaronson Law Firm, just covering a lot of areas of the law that you cover. So I just want to talk to you about criminal expunctions and what that entails, how somebody can get that taken care of. Yeah, can you kind of just give me a description of it? Like let's say I'm calling you as a client and I have a criminal record from my past and it's in the way of me trying to get a job that I really want.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah, and expunctions are a great deal. And along with expunctions go uh, what is known as orders of non-disclosure. So basically, what an expunction is it is a way for people who have been arrested to get all the records of their arrest, all the records of their case, anything and everything having to do with that criminal event erased off of their records totally, forever. It's done. You know, it even allows that person to legally, they can deny that this criminal episode even ever happened. Along the same lines is what we call an order of non-disclosure. Basically, what that is, that's when a person is able to seal their records. The sealing of the record comes about after you file a petition for requesting an order of non-disclosure. It's the next best thing to an expunction. It's the only other thing next to an expunction, but it's not quite as good as an expunction because it doesn't allow the destruction or prohibition against showing the records. It simply seals the records. Basically, what it does is it seals the records from the public's view. Now, there's a ton of exceptions to the non-disclosure statute. One of them says that although members of the general public can't get it, if you operate under a license in the state of Texas, like you're a beauty stylist or bar, on and on and on,
Sure.
you can get those records. But it's still a great deal. Again, though, not as good as an expunction. Expunctions are important because, and I tell all my clients this, especially, well, most of my clients are pretty young. So, but I always tell them, look, you're going to be going out, you're going to be looking for jobs, you're going to be renting apartments, people are going to be running credit reports on you, on and on and on. And, these criminal episodes, the fact that they appear on criminal background checks, it's never going to help you. It's never going to help you. So I always tell my clients, look, if there's any way that you're entitled to an expunction or an order of non-disclosure, just do it. Just do it. And it'll help you so much in the future, especially nowadays, because with technology, every day people are able to delve more into other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's just, if you can help it, don't be having things pop up on background checks. Anybody can check these and can run background checks, find out, what items a person has, in their criminal history. And if you can do it, just seal it or get it expunged. It's a great service and it's a great thing to be able to do.
That's an amazing tool. Especially, maybe you made mistakes when you were younger. What, I'm imagining that not everything can be expunged. What would be something that you cannot expunge?
Okay. So, and people need to understand that one thing that cannot be expunged is a conviction. Basically, in Texas, a conviction is two things. It's a judgment or declaration by a court that you have been found guilty. That happens when either you plead guilty, you pay a fine, or you go to a jury trial and the jury says guilty. And number two, it is a punishment. So every time that you have a judgment, a conviction, along with a punishment, which is necessary, then you have an expunction. People need to realize and do everything possible. Do anything you can to keep any criminal event from becoming an expunction. There's ways to do that. One way is called when the adjudication or the litigation of the crime through the criminal justice system is deferred or delayed. That's one way to do it. Another way is to work out various types of plea agreements that will assure that you do not have a conviction. And they're great things that ought to be looked into by every attorney in every single criminal case, because I find that too many lawyers, they don't pay attention to the fact that their clients are young, their clients are going to be needing a clean criminal history check, and they don't care. They'll do whatever they feel like is easiest for them to get their fee and move on to the next case without fully investigating and thoroughly investigating options, all the options.
That's great. So if somebody calls you, you're going to explore all the options with that client.
Absolutely, all the time. And I always tell my clients, again, what I think, but more importantly, why I suggest that particular route. And it's important for me, more than anything, that my clients understand the process almost as well as I do, so that whatever decision they make, it doesn't matter to me, but whatever decision they choose to make with regards to how they want to resolve their case, as long as they know everything about the pros and cons of every different option, then whatever they want to do is going to be fine with me.
That's great. I guess, so as long as they're not convicted of it, like they didn't serve, I guess if you went to jail or prison for something, that's not going to ever come off your record, right?
Correct.
Okay. But if I got a DWI and you put me in some kind of program,
Yeah. So there's different ways to do it. Sometimes you can deal with the DA to make a deal, like maybe even take some internet classes. Sometimes you can get into a program that where you never have to actually appear in front of a judge. That allows for an expunction. Sometimes you can get the adjudication of the process delayed, so that you can be kind of like sidetracked, and that also doesn't result in a conviction. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and what many attorneys fail to do is come up and be original and maybe offer the DA something that you would be willing to take to see, hey, Mr. DA, are you okay with this? What do you think? Here's why we should do it. What problems, if any, do you have with that? And so on and so forth.
And most DAs are reasonable?
Yeah, most of them are, absolutely.
Okay, so I guess I have one more question. So let's just use the DWI as an example. You put them in that, they take classes and stuff like that, so it's kind of like a probationary or deferred period, right?
Exactly.
How quickly can they apply for expunction? Is it immediate? Is there a time frame?
So that's a really good question, too. So generally, normally speaking, the person has to wait until after the time limit that the state has to charge them passes. Like, let's say it's a DWI. So normally you would have to wait 2 years, but that's not always true. If you get into one of these programs or something like that I briefly described earlier, you can do it immediately. It's it's a wonderful tool for people to be able to, use and get this thing done to where all this is erased off of their record. Sometimes in deferred adjudications, there's even, the law sets out that there's different waiting periods for different type of offenses depending on what happened. And it's kind of complicated, but yeah, it depends on what you're charged with, and most importantly, the disposition of the case.
Well, that is a great tool to have. And
yeah, it really, really is.
A lot of people make a few mistakes when they're young, and this is a great way for the...
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes, and it's really nice that people are able to get these expunctions, because, like I said, we all make mistakes. This is a way to cure one aspect of the mistake that you made.
So you do criminal expungements in El Paso County. Is this going to be Texas-wide, or is it?
Yeah,
is there like
if I can't do it personally in another county of Texas, then I'll associate an attorney to do it along with me. Most of the time, by the way, expunctions sometimes are contested. The ultimate decision is up to a judge, but in 98% of the expunctions that I handle, they're pretty straightforward, and there's never objections where somebody's telling the judge that he shouldn't grant the expunction. So we have a really good success rate with that.
Okay, so you say the turnaround time is 2 years or sometimes immediate. Is there a time limit? Could I call you 20 years down the road?
No, there's not a time limit. You can have it done anytime as long as you're legally entitled under the law, as the law then exists, to get an expunction. And yeah, you can do it later on, especially with cases that are just simply outright dismissed. Now, one question one thing I didn't mention is that, so the expunctions, the way we do them, we get the case, we file the petition, then we have a 30, 45 day waiting period because notice is sent to all the agencies that have a record of your arrest, like the DPS, the sheriff, the police, the courts, blah, blah, blah. And so after that, we request a hearing anytime after, say, 30, 35 days. It's usually set within a month and a half or so. So every court runs their docket differently. Some are sooner, some are later. And then again, we usually don't even have to appear for the hearing when they're not contested, which again, 98, 99% of the time, they are not contested. So we have a really good success rate with that.
Yeah, what a great service. I had no idea. So if you're in El Paso or in even the state of Texas and you're hearing this, give Michael Aaronson a call. It's the Aaronson Law Firm at 7362 Rem Con Circle, El Paso, Texas, 79912. The phone number is 915-533-0110. And the website is AaronsonTX.com.
Aaronson Law TX.
Sorry, AaronsonLawTX.com. So those are a way to get a hold of them if you have some issues with the past criminal record. And Michael Aaronson's a guy to get it expunged.
Good job.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.